All right, if you got something going on in your life, you're dating somebody right now, just any kind of drama going on, and something doesn't feel quite right when you're dating, hit us up and ask us, should I continue to date this person or should I ditch him? In this case, she started dating a guy she likes a lot, but she just found out that his ex is pregnant with his baby. Continue to date or ditch. Mo's got the email.
Bert Show, I've heard the other side of my situation on your show before. I'm curious what advice there would be to someone in my shoes. I met a guy, Ray, about 3 weeks ago. I was out with my girlfriends and we all met a group of guys. We all hit it off, had a great time hanging out. My friend Rachel spent the entire evening talking to his friend and left with his number. About a day later, my friend Rachel texted me and said Ray was trying to get my number and she wanted to know if she could pass it on. I was immediately excited because I really liked him, but I wasn't sure if he liked me. So a few nights later, we went on our first date. We had a fantastic time and immediately made plans for the next night. It was several weeks ago, and we've been hanging out ever since. So 2 nights ago, he said he needed to tell me something, and he hoped that I'd be understanding and not bail on him. That's when he told me that he was going to be a dad. He said that he briefly dated someone about 6 months ago, and she got pregnant. He said that the baby is due in just a couple of months, but they are no longer together. I've heard you talk to women who are pregnant but going on dates with other guys. What are your thoughts on dating a guy who was having a baby with someone else? Would you do it, or should I move on? Bless you, Kristen. I saw you sneeze.
Thank you very much. My friend did this, and they are now married with a child of their own.
Really?
She actually would joke about it and wanted to write a book, What to Expect When Your Boyfriend is Expecting.
Oh, really? No kidding. Really?
Yeah.
Now, that's a success story and that's beautiful, but I think that's an anomaly also.
It might be. There's having just had a baby a year ago, and Cassie just had a baby a couple months ago, her second. I think we can attest that there's a lot of time there. That's a major commitment. Granted, he and the mother are not together. However, you're going to have to be able to make sure that you don't have any jealousy issues, and you're going to be able to sit back and let him do what he needs to do to be an active father and not take it personal.
Yeah, I think when I was younger, this kind of drama didn't bother me because I didn't realize how stressful it is when you're in it, right? So I probably would have tried to play it out, this relationship, but now that I'm a little bit older, man, I see a little different view on the world, I wouldn't touch it. I got to be honest with you. I'd run away from it. Everything is going to change so much, as we've been talking about for months and months and months here. God, your relationships change when you have a baby. Your focus changes. There's so many different changes that walking into this thing from the outside, it's going to be really, really complicated.
Yeah, it's tough for me to give perspective to these situations because I really feel like it's a person-to-person thing. You just got to really sit down and think about, like, all that's going to come with the fact that he's having a baby. It is what it is. And, like, for me, I kind of would want the quote-unquote honeymoon phase in a new relationship to where it's, like, just us and that's the focus. But that's just me. But I think if she feels like she can handle it, I don't think she should let that stop her from giving him a chance.
And I'm proud of him for being honest and forthcoming about it. Like, he could have hid it. I dated a guy who hid that he had a kid.
Oh, really? For how long?
He didn't tell me. Somebody else did. And then I confronted him.
Wow.
That's shocking to hear.
Yeah.
So how does this go down?
Yeah, no, it's a long story.
He actually had the kid.
We got 4 hours to kill.
Huh?
He had the kid, or he was having it.
He already had the child.
Wow.
And it was a mess. And I continued to date him.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Maybe he just was forgetting to tell you. Is that what you're thinking?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I have a child who can walk now.
So did a friend know and just said, hey, do you know that Chuck has got a kid, right?
Yeah, and she did it purposefully, and she felt like I needed to know. And so we were out of town together, and when we came back into town, it's like one of those core memories you'll never forget. On the escalator at the airport, and you're coming up the escalator, and he's standing there, and he knows I know now. And I see his face, and he sees my face, and it was just one of those, like, oh. And I still dated him after that. After he hid the fact he had a child from me. That spoke volumes of where my self-esteem was back in the day.
Yeah, I bet. And how long did you guys stay together?
Yeah, I mean, I met her and ended up, like, being an active, as active part as I could, being his girlfriend. But it was the dating Antichrist. It went on. It was off and on for a long time.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Was he at least defensive? Apologetic about it, or was he defensive?
Oh, he was totally apologetic about it. Yeah.
Just kept forgetting. It happens.
The Bert Show.